Before I begin the video, I want to give thanks and appreciation to God because without Him, I wouldn't have the encouragement and perseverance to get up every day, and that's where my belief and faith rest in. I love you very much, God, and I thank you for allowing every day, every day. Hey dudes and dudettes, I hope your day is going just as sublime as your face. Welcome to my channel, The Jazzy Diaries, where I give my opinion and analysis on movies and TV shows, and every blue moon I may vlog from time to time. In today's video, I will be talking about Legally Blonde. While opinions are more than welcome, however, there are boundaries within having opinions which can be harmful. Please keep it respectful, insightful, and tasteful in the comment section if you do decide to comment down below, and the world will continue to be a beautiful place for everybody. Now with that being said, let's unpack this video. Elle Woods has always been a feminine inspiration. I've always enjoyed her evolution from her thinking she needed Warner to be complete, but all she needed was a push in the right direction from what she already had all along, which was goals and ambition for her to be the best lawyer outside of the conformity of what was projected onto her. It's already offensive and misogynistic to put all of these racist tropes against white women for having blonde hair and associated with inadequacies and a weak will with codependency issues, but to really dumb down a woman to be smart, brave, and intelligent, to want more for herself outside of a man is just plain insane because you feel insecure in your gender. While Warner was image obsessed and cared about what others thought because he had internalized misogyny and patriarchal pride, he got with a chick who enabled his behavior further. What started off with Elle wanting to gratify the attention of Warner turned into her reclaiming her self-worth and knowing that she is more than what people say she is, and she challenged that. Because Warner never saw her, she was just eye candy to him to prove his ego that his actions are justifiable so he won't take accountability for being bogus to Elle. Elle knew there was more to her than just being an accessory, and she defied the toxic insecurities that were subjected to her, and I love how her friends were genuinely by her side and were so supportive and never showed any jealousy or inferiority towards Elle, and she wanted more for herself. Elle represents what most women are afraid of, which is so much power in being feminine and being okay with not impressing a guy to achieve standards or becoming boring to be taken seriously just because people choose to like individuality and care about what others think because they're cowardly and just existing to just pay the bills. I love how Elle's dresses and outfits complement her personality. Where everyone decided on blending in, Elle just stood out. She was always made to. That's what Vivian was jealous of about Elle. I personally think that she and Elle should have never became friends because she was too willing to openly humiliate and trash Elle at the expense of her own insecurities to feel superior when her problem really was with Warner. She didn't give Warner any level of accountability or didn't value herself to break off the engagement with him, knowing she was just a second choice from Elle because Warner treated Elle like a trophy because he had no worth outside of caring about what others thought of him, and thus decided on subjecting both Elle and Vivian to his internalized struggle instead of getting his affairs together as a man. Then the sexually harassing pervy teacher Callahan tried to abuse his power of authority against Elle, all because he's misogynistic and underestimated Elle's capabilities, all because he as well as Warner has a shallow low view of women because they're incapable of being real men. Elle couldn't catch a break through this entire movie, and I was so over the moon with how she was treated. This movie pretty much underlines the misogynistic views and undertones of what cowardly men subject women to for the sake of their own egos, and most women give themselves a disservice in enabling a man's behavior in the worst way, which Paulette was doing in her relationship with a man who simply didn't value her, and Elle was super sweet for helping her gain her identity and worth back and being a great friend to her, and she got with a guy who genuinely liked her. And we can't forget the infamous bend and snap move even Ariana Grande incorporated in her Thank You Next music video, and it's so aesthetically satisfying. She brings all of the iconic Y2K movies in one go. Legally Blonde takes the narrative of the supposed dumb blonde trope and rewrites it into a new identity of its own without the common misconceptions of insecurity when it comes to gender, where Vivian is so serious to the point she doesn't take herself serious because she's so used to following the rules and staying within the lines and is ultimately afraid of her own gender and the fact that she could have ultimately been a great friend to Elle this entire time, and instead projected her own insecurities because she had a big admiration for Elle and dressed exactly how she felt, when she could have dished one-upping Elle and worked together on taking down Callahan. Take Brooke for example. She was determined and ambitious and beautiful and had 1,000% confidence in Elle. She and Elle had a lot in common and understood one another, where everyone decided to lack in, which was human empathy and well-being. Both Elle and Brooke believed in taking care of themselves and having fun and having their priorities together, and both never turned a blind eye against each other for their own personal gain, and they never once projected on each other either. They both understood girl code and were definitely kindred spirits. At first, I thought her teacher was jealous of her and hated her, but then I saw that she was only giving Elle tough love and knew she had that gusto in her all along to be a great lawyer and not allow potential rapists to get away with disgusting behavior because she was for Elle. Legally Blonde is a movie where you will automatically remove the lens of your own personal insecurities and judgments and allow yourself to see that everyone has faults and not everyone is what you think them to be, but is what you allow yourself to be aside from everyone else's insecurities projecting onto you. For women, it's been a sad assumption that if you're still girly and feminine while conducting business, then you give men the wrong idea and impression about you, and you wouldn't be taken seriously, and that other women should shun you all because they assume your only privilege is the male gaze, and that's how you're able to squeak by in life. But in reality, it's because most people are designated people pleasers that feel self-important and self-actualized off of what people think and believing that being told what to do can benefit you as long as you don't question it. It's always someone deciding to project their insecurities, particularly men and most women, that go along with it, out of fear over what a man will think about them onto other women who doesn't box themselves in a simple narrative. That doesn't separate you from individuality and being your own person. Just like how Elle was helping David become because he already was and was smart and helpful and genuinely liked Elle because she didn't write him off or mistreat him out of her own insecurity. She was kind and sincere and carried a strong purpose to pursue what she wanted. Elle Woods conquered that stigma by separating distraction from trying to please Warner and gain his affections and impress him by attending Harvard, and I loved her black law dress. She wore it, was so girly but yet firm, and you notice she dresses to impress herself, but still knows she's about business. Elle honestly surprised herself into thinking all of what she was doing was for a guy, but really it was for herself. And despite being privileged into a life where she didn't need to work and was genuinely being taken care of, she decided on her own to work for what she truly wants, and she did it. Despite the odds and misogyny she was subjected through, she still remained sweet, loyal, bubbly, intelligent, and stylish, and never separated herself from her individuality from the asinine objections of others, and didn't conform just because others aren't used to something outside of their own insecurities. And Emmett never once exploited Elle or took advantage of what she had to offer, as he was always sincere with her and genuinely on her side, and really appreciated who Elle was because he wasn't toxic or insecure with his masculinity, but assertive and was Elle's cup of tea. Overall, the movie is very encouraging and motivational and brightens a dark day and makes you want to literally relive a Y2K moment and have your parties together, because overall the movie was so aesthetically pleasing. I'm so glad you came across my video and I hope you enjoyed today's content. I appreciate you guys so much for taking a gander on my channel. Feel free to express your thoughts in the comment section below, and if you'd like to keep up with any upcoming announcements, news, and posts and entertainment, be sure to check out my blog. The link is in the description box, and if you made it to the end of the video, comment a smiley emoji. And remember, without God, we all wouldn't be here. Well, that's all folks. Have a happy rest of your day. Bye!